So I made shampoo bars recently, and sorry, the camera is still shaking a little bit. I wanted to take you along the unmolding process and stamping, just to see how this would turn out on basically on a video that is not planned for my channel, so to speak. So as you can see, it unmolds rather easily. This is because I added sodium lactate. Otherwise, this specific recipe here is very soft, and if I don't add sodium lactate to it, it will take to about a week to unmold, which is something that many people don't have the time for it. You know, you need to be really patient. But I will show you the difference between the ones that I used. I did the soaps yesterday, and I'm unmolding not even 24 hours later. And then this is how they turn out, as opposed to these here that I made 1 week ago, and then they are already stamped, but you can see the texture is not really smooth. You know, it's just an aesthetic point. It doesn't really make a difference in terms of performance, but still you can see the difference in terms of aesthetic between this bar and this one here. Although this one will also turn smoother while curing. The soap has the tendency to smooth out, interestingly, while curing. So as I said, this recipe here is not available on my regular channel. It is available though for my patrons that have access to many more recipes and behind the scene videos, what's happening on my channel, or sometimes news about updates like the new workshop or the workshop in progress and things like that. So if you're interested to find out more about this, you can check out the link in the description about my Patreon page. It is also a way to support a content creator. So as you can see here, this soap releases quite easily. Here, for example, it is a little bit still soft, but I'm not worried about this. I'm just gonna continue to unmold all of them, and then the stamp will also add more stability to it. Shampoo bar is pretty popular. People like it. It also has the tendency to handle dandruff as a bonus, although I'm not promoting it because, you know, I think it needs a little bit more testing before you can make any claims. But so far so good. So that's the first batch here. This one over to the side. I also really do love these molds here. Just gonna tilt the camera a little bit. Here's my new sink, by the way. Absolutely love it. It's such a game changer to work with a deep sink. Smells amazing. The fragrance oil blend that I'm using for this specific recipe is a mixture of tea tree oil, but also lavender. I feel that tea tree oil alone is a thing a little bit like licorice, you know, or you hate it or you love it. So yeah, I don't particularly like it, but in combination with lavender, which is also a great essential oil for hair, I think it makes a very fresh, earthy, and yet floral kind of fragrance, so to speak. And of course, the main reason why I use this fragrance blend is for the benefit it has for hair, and not only for like because it smells good, if you know what I mean. A little bit like when you make a deodorant, you would not use just a fragrance oil because you love it, but you would use something that would really deodor the sweat or the smell of the sweat. So I'm done with unmolding. Now I also did a smaller size of these, just a couple of, because whenever I have left over, I like to make, for example, samples, or like I'm gonna use this one here for a project that I'm planning for later on this year. So what I like to do here, this mold here is a little bit more on the thick side, and I can see that it is maybe a bit difficult to unmold. I don't know if you can tell here, but I'm just gonna leave it. You know, this one I'm not gonna stamp anyway, so I'm not bothering about this one. I just leave it a couple of days more. There's no need to rush, so it can be a really nice and crisp soap. This is also a nice size here, and you will see a bit later on this year what I'm going to plan with this. But in any case, a tip for me, it's whenever you're making soap and you have leftovers, just pour some sample size soaps. Samples always make additional sales later on. I'm going to grab my rubber mallet. This is just a regular one that you get in any hardware store. It's a little bit dirty too. And then my stamp. Also, when you have a recipe that tends to be a little bit on the sticky side, what you can always try is to add a little bit of rubbing alcohol onto the stamp. That way it releases better. So I'm just gonna give it a spritz. Then I'm placing the stamp where I want it to be, and I just give it a light tap, maybe a little bit here and there, and wiggle it out, and that way I get a nice impression. Just gonna go ahead now and stamp them all. You can also repeat the rubbing alcohol on the stamp if you feel that the releasing gets harder. It's working out quite okay for me. I'm just gonna put the camera a little bit on this angle here. Again, I'm once again surprised what difference it makes just to add a little bit of sodium lactate to the cooled live water solution. That's what I usually do, or in case I'm making a heat transfer method, I just add it to the mixture once everything is mixed. I guess you can also just add it to the oils, because why not? Anyways, at the end everything will be mixed up, so I don't think it will really make a difference. Or maybe you have some experience with that and can let me know. Sometimes if you wait too long, It can also be that it is difficult to get a nice impression, or you really have to press hard, give it like a good whack. But I usually don't have problems with it, and in most cases I stamp immediately after on molding, be it in singular cavity molds or also like in a loaf mold. Alright, so that's it pretty much for the stamping. Now I'm going to add these to my bakery trays. The trays, stainless steel. So I think you could just add the soaps directly onto it, but still I'm gonna add some kitchen paper. Or kitchen roll, just to be on the safe side. It's great because you cannot see a thing, but it will get better. Maybe soon, no? It's really funny because people who start using these shampoos here, it will not work for my type of hair, for example, because I'm very curly, naturally curly, so it needs some extra moisture and so forth. But usually people who start using this kind of shampoo here, they don't change anymore. Like they stick with it no matter what. Alright, so I'm gonna put these onto my curing rack. So I'm going to let this cure for 4 to 6 weeks. So this is my soap curing rack. I absolutely love it because it's so space saving. It is a bakery tray, as you can see, stainless steel, and it has a lot of tiers that don't take much height. Like it actually is exactly the height for one of my soaps. See, it really fits in here well. And then I found these stainless steel trays that fit exactly the width. So now I know where I can get them. I will link them also in the description, or at least an option for you, because I'm living in Europe here, so maybe the products are not exactly the same that you would find on Amazon Germany or on Amazon in the US. So I'm very happy with it because, as I said, it really holds a lot of soap and doesn't take a lot of space. And as a bonus, you can move it around when need be. All right, so see you very soon and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.